Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing a brand new Ninjago comic, which supposedly takes place after Ninjago crystallized, and it features Lloyd's Oni form, which I personally think is a pretty big deal considering that this is one of the most recent Ninjago story elements that we saw following Ninjago crystallized, and involving Lloyd's Oni form. A lot of people still do have questions about that form, when exactly Lloyd will use it again, etc, etc. And in my opinion, this comic does give us a quick look surrounding how exactly Lloyd's Oni form could be used in Ninjago United or future Ninjago stories, for example. So I think a good place to start would be by looking at the comic itself, talking about it, reading through it, and then afterwards we can discuss whether or not Ninjago's future stories will take influence from this comic, or maybe have a similar vibe in regard to Lloyd's Oni form. Just for a really quick disclaimer though, there is a chance that this comic is not canon. In fact, most of these comics that come out of Ninjago magazines tend to not be canon. But still, this comic does feature Lloyd's Oni form for the first time since Ninjago crystallized, and I figured it was still worth talking about. Again, we'll get more into the discussion regarding Ninjago's future after we read through the comic. Alright guys, so the comic itself is known simply as The Arrest, and it follows Hound Dog McBrog, taking place after Ninjago crystallized, like I said, and huge shout out to Ninjago magazine enjoyer over on Twitter for providing us with these scans and actually making sure they are pretty high quality. Big shout out to them. But I figured we could just read through the comic together, discuss things as we go along, and this starts off in Hound Dog McBrog's office, Ninjago City, saved from the Crystal King and more peaceful than ever, and I certainly played my part. Of course you did, Hound Dog. Of course you did. No one has caught as many criminals as me! Just like that most wanted criminal Wild Bill TikTok. I was after him for a long time. Ah yes, what a dastardly foe this guy certainly seems to be. Or that time I caught the infamous Kung Fu Cook completely unaware. He's popping out of a birthday cake there. I don't know what's going on there. Not forgetting my arrest of criminal explosive mastermind Jean-Paul Van Bam, caught wet-handed. Long story short, Hound Dog is kind of narcissistic, I guess. The only fugitives to ever slip through my grasp were the ninja. Why does he have a framed photo of Lloyd on his desk? That's not creepy. I admit it's true that Lloyd Garmadon saved me from 2 serpentines during the crystal infection, and together the ninja did save the entire city, but still, my failure to arrest those fugitives should not remain a stain on my CV. I have to arrest them, even if I only get 1 or 2 of them, and even if it's only for an hour or 2. So yeah, this dude is just mentally unwell. That's cool to see. That's awesome. Good thing I already have a plan on how to catch them with the help of this plant and a letter. So I'm off to send the letter and then round up my deputies. That is Christopher right there. A little later, I can understand that some of you are not quite comfortable arresting the ninja. After all, they saved our city. But before they did that, they evaded arrest, and it's our duty to make them pay for that. But how are you planning to do that? After all, they're ninja. Very hard to catch. Oh, they'll come to us. I've notified them that we have this. Apparently it's Lord Garmadon's favorite plant. That is Christopher, and oh my goodness, this is not going to go well. You took that plant from who? Lord Garmadon. Don't you know who he is? His rage knows no bounds when he hears about this. He'll make light work out of you and the rest of us. I understand your concerns, but don't panic. I've taken care of it. As Hound Dog reveals his master plan here, I had these fine mechs built for law enforcement by Cyrus Borg. They're armored with Venge Stones, so the elemental powers of the ninja or their masters can't harm them. I've already informed the ninja, and I'm sure they will be here soon. Those mechs do look pretty cool. Why do I feel like working with Vengestone is illegal? Or maybe it should be. I don't know. I guess we'll see how this goes. A short time later, I still can't believe it. The cheek. The cheek! How dare they kidnap my poor Christopher? Maybe someone found it after the chaos of the crystal infection and want to give it back now. At worst, we'll just have to cough up a small finder's fee. This letter does not sound like it's from an innocent finder. It sounds more like ice-cold blackmail to me. Oh, I love this note. It says, "We have Lord Garmadon's favorite plant. Come to warehouse, whatever, if you want it back with a..." Okay, that's great. So here we are. We should knock. Like common callers? Not on my watch. This is the most British Ninjago comic I've ever read. Garmadon kicks down the door. "Christopher, where are you? Lord and Lloyd Garmadon, I hereby detain you on behalf of Ninjago City for resisting arrest." And what a great pleasure this is for me personally. I'd think twice about that if I were you, McBrog? Instead of, you know, it's a funny joke. "That pile of steel you're stuck inside won't do you much good." Oh, really? These mechs are armored with Venge Stones, so your elemental powers are useless against them, and your Spinjitzu skills are no match for my cannon. That went too far. You'll regret that, McBrog. Garmadon just stands there unamused. Listen carefully, Hound Dog McBrog, who speaks on behalf of Ninjago City. Your Vengestone may make you immune to elemental powers, and your cannon may be stronger than any Spinjitzu, but one thing you didn't consider is the power of an Oni, as we see Garmadon transform into his Oni form. Something looks a little off about this, gotta admit. Kinda looks like they fused Garmadon and the Crystal King together. That's real nifty, isn't it? Now moving on to part 2. Hey, nothing and nobody can stand in the way of the power of the Oni. I'm going to destroy you all. That is so weird. Why did they combine Garmadon with the Crystal King? Makes no sense whatsoever. Follow me, son. Take on your Oni form, and together we will free Ninjago from these plant kidnappers. Oh my gosh. No, father, this is the wrong way. You now know what it means to be good, even if you're evil in your heart. You have done good and helped save Ninjago City. Don't ruin it all by doing evil again. We have to accept what we are. I know this evil is in me too, but I don't want to give in to these poisonous feelings. Let's take mercy on McBrog and his deputies. And finally, here's where things really heat up. Of course, that doesn't mean we shouldn't take their mechs apart so they leave us in peace, and if my Oni form can help, then I'll use it. Look at that. Not even 4 arms, just the normal 2-armed Oni Lloyd. So we have normal 2-armed Oni Lloyd and the Garmadon Crystal King hybrid. Sounds good. That's exactly what I saw in Ninjago Crystallized. Why me? Come here. I'm gonna get ya. Crabash. Heh. Come on, Garmadon. Ouch. Now the other two. With pleasure. To take him. I like how they're pointing at each other. That's pretty funny. Stomp, stomp. Man, they're just making quick work of Hound Dog McBrog's mechs, aren't they? Oh no. Well, and now we come to number 4. Sure. Whatever works, guys. Whatever works. Okay, this art's actually pretty cool. Rip. Get out. Wah. Pow. Spring? Nearly there. Obviously, they're just tearing down these mechs, of course. And now for the main course. I like how these two look together. I wish that Garmadon wasn't some weird Crystal King hybrid thing, but I do like how the Oni forms look together. On a serious note, I think these designs are pretty cool. Just wish Garmadon was actually in his Oni form. That'd be nice. Hound Dog McBrog's mech gets destroyed. He screams, no, you know, like an evil villain. And now you're going to give us Christopher back, you wicked plant kidnapper. But of course, he's back there. There he is. They did it. They saved him. Still, what is going on with that, man? Shortly after the dust has settled, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean any harm. I'm just a victim of my professional pride. My poor little Christopher, and don't worry, I'll never leave you alone again. Garmadon loves that plant more than his son. You ninja were the only ones who ever got away from me. I just wanted to lock up at least one of you for a very short while to keep my reputation intact. Well, if that's all you wanted to do, you can lock me up in the bathroom for a minute. Oh, this is going south real quick. My lovely Christopher, you do that for me? Oh, thanks. Thank you. 1 minute later. I'll take better care of you in the future, Christopher. Oh, look at that. They made up. Now I feel better again. Thank you, Lloyd Garmadon. You're welcome to come back out now. Oh, it's okay. I need a little longer, but could someone please bring me some toilet paper? And it's funny because he has to use the bathroom. What? No, I think I'm done with this comic. I'm done with this one. So that'll just about do it for the comic. I was on board with the comic until they decided to make a bathroom joke towards the very end. I hate bathroom jokes, man. Just such lazy humor. Reminds me about Ninjago Hunted and all of the bad jokes that came out of that season. But I digress. The Oni form just being used here as a casual means of attack could very well provide context to Lloyd's Oni form in Ninjago United or the future of the Ninjago series. Perhaps in Ninjago United, it'll get to the point where maybe Lloyd's Oni form is being used way too much, Lloyd is relying on it way too much, and as a result, maybe the form will begin to corrupt him. The comic showed Lloyd discussing his Oni form, deciding that it was basically inherently evil, and he doesn't want to rely on it despite ultimately relying on it. So I feel like maybe in Ninjago United or Ninjago's future, perhaps this could be an interesting plot point to explore. But regardless, even though this comic may or may not be canon, it's honestly pretty hard to tell. Because it includes Lloyd's Oni form, I feel like that'll only be used more in the future of Ninjago. I don't think Ninjago Ninjago crystallized featuring Lloyd's Oni form was a one and done thing. And if this comic is anything to go off of despite it not being canon, then yes, I feel like Lloyd will indeed be utilizing his Oni form at some point in the future. With that being said, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. Thank you so very much for watching today's video. Leave a comment down below discussing what you think about Lloyd's Oni form and what you think about this comic in general. I thought the comic was interesting up until the last few panels, then it kind of annoyed me, but what do you guys think? Leave all your thoughts down below. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and guys, like I said, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. If you guys enjoyed today's video, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very soon. Peace.